According to the Wall Street Journal, European leaders, in particular France, Germany, Greece and Czech Republic, will not take part in the Beijing Belt and Road Initiative. At the same time, representatives of developing countries, in particular from Latin America and Africa, are planning to attend. But all attention will be focused on Vladimir Putin's visit to China. According to experts, the Kremlin head intends to seek not only economic, but also military support in China.
Moscow will try to further deepen cooperation with Beijing and elicit more support from China, including lethal military aid, as it has hopes that Western support for Ukraine may be gradually faltering. China doesn't want to see a significantly weakened Russia, and it might step up its efforts if it comes to realize that Moscow might lose. Bjorn Alexander Duben, an assistant professor at China Jilin University, in a comment for France 24.
EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell warned Beijing of the consequences of any direct military support for the Russian Federation during a three-day trip to China on October 13th.
And I asked China, as a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, to use its influence on Russia to stop this war of aggression and to make this deal being renewed.
The People's Republic of China provides only limited support to the Russian Federation. This is the opinion expressed by Washington and most European capitals. However, in recent weeks, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg and U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan have warned China against providing lethal assistance to Russia. Such statements were made after information emerged that Beijing had made direct deliveries of equipment and material critical for military purposes. In particular, we are talking about semiconductors. This was reported by CNN with reference to the U.S. intelligence report.
The number one point I can't remember if it's 10 or 12 points in the principles that the PRC has laid out with respect to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, is respect for sovereignty, respect for every nation's sovereignty. So I would like to see every leader who goes and speaks to President Putin reinforce that that basic proposition is inviolable, and that every country, including countries that have better relationships than Russia than we do, are going to stand by that principle as we go forward. That's fundamentally their responsibility.
Beijing itself emphasized that China was not supplying weapons to Russia. At the same time, the volume of trade between the two countries has grown to record levels since the start of Russia's full-scale aggression against Ukraine. In particular, China imports of Russian oil have become a lifeline for Moscow in the face of tough international sanctions. According to Chinese customs data, bilateral trade reached a record high $190 billion in a year 2022. This year, both sides pledged to bring it up to $200 billion. As experts emphasize, an ongoing economic interaction between the Russian Federation and China is gradually ceasing to be a partnership and turning into a relationship of direct dependence. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Krystyna Dąbrowska, UATV News.